Can I please ask you just before you watch the video or after to remember to like it because it really helps me out and it's a really nice thing to do. So that's about it. Hopefully you enjoy. What's up guys, this is OmegaLiar, and today I'm bringing you a tips and tricks commentary that I think you'll enjoy. Now just for record about the gameplay, I do try and cut through as much of the boring stuff as possible. Still a nice score in the end. Also, I still have a cold. Now, let's talk about the ScarH, because this is a gun that really not that many people use, and that's fair, because it's not that easy of a gun to use, at least for most people. So, why, you sort of have to ask yourself, what about this gun makes it like that? And there's a few factors that contribute to the sort of underusedness of this gun. The first of which is the fact that it fires 600 rounds per minute. And at a 3-shot kill, that means that it only gets about, I have a time to kill of about 0.2 seconds, or 0.22 seconds, which is actually very, very slow. It makes it one of the slowest in the assault rifles class. And that is not that good. So, if it has such a slow time to kill, why would you ever use it? I mean, every other assault rifle must be better. And I'll tell you, it only gets worse, because the SCAR also has fairly high recoil. So, there's a lot of things that are wrong with this gun, yes, but you have to look to what makes the gun good. First off, at least in my opinion, sort of a subjective point, but I think it has by far the best iron sights. And I thought it's always had the best iron sights since Modern Warfare 2. So, you're not going to need to waste one of your points on a sight. You can just use this the regular iron sights and you'll be fine. There's no issue with that whatsoever. The second point, it has very, very, very long range. The AN-94, which is the most comparable assault rifle to the ScarH, which after the second shot fires at the same rate, only has about less than 1/2 the range of the ScarH. So you can constantly rely on the fact that you're going to be getting 3-shot kills whenever you attack someone. So that is one of the main points of the ScarH. On top of that, it's actually fairly versatile. You see, in this particular gameplay, I'm actually running the laser sight, which is something that you might not see as useful for a gun with such a slow fire rate. But all it really does is make it actually pretty good at close range, because a 3-shot kill is still a 3-shot kill no matter what. So it is viable, at least at close range. It's not amazing at close range, but that really helps complete this assault rifle. However, that wouldn't be one of the attachments that I recommend. So yeah, if that's what you're going to be trying to do with the SCAR. You're going to be holding yourself to long-range engagements, and you're going to be not worrying too much about dropping off to a 4-shot, 5-shot kill, because that simply won't happen that often. Now, let's talk about what attachments you probably want to run for this gun, because you're already going to be sticking to longer range or longer lines of sight. So you're definitely going to want to figure out what are going to be the best attachments. And now you have a few options when you come to this area. And one of the first ones that comes to mind is the silencer. And the only reason for this is because the range on this gun is massive. So you really will not have any trouble with a silencer. It's not going to make you suddenly get 4-shot kills every time. You're still sorry about this, I'm trying to get a final kill cam moment here. But anyway, you're still going to be getting 3-shot kills most of the time. Like the SMR, you'll have a ridiculous amount of range, silenced or not silenced. So silencer is a great option, and also you still have your iron sights. So the other option that you can run, well actually the other few set of options you can run, is actually depending on what kind of player you are, and that is the grip, the select fire attachment, or both. Now, the grip, obviously that reduces recoil, makes this gun even better at long range, and that's great. But why would you run select fire on a gun that shoots very slow and isn't very, it already is a long range weapon, there's no point to it. And the only reason I consider run select fire is because it's basically like a second grip. If you run the ScarH with select fire and without a grip, you're going to have very low recoil when you're doing burst fire. And on top of that, the fire rate is hardly affected because is already shooting slow. So you can maximize the fire rate no matter what, but it will reduce the recoil, and that is a benefit you definitely want to take advantage of. However, if you run the Select Fire and Grip, you basically get a 3-shot kill, 3-round burst lead laser. So it's very, very effective, and it's actually something worth giving it a try. I found it to be very useful, even on closer range maps, because you almost always get that 3-shot kill, and the bullets have very, very tight spread. So you don't have to worry about firing 4 to 5 bursts in order to kill someone when you get them down in 1 to 2 every single time. So that's just an interesting choice that I found and played around with, and I thought worked pretty well. But here's another interesting thing about the ScarH. It works well without any attachments at all. When I first started using the ScarH, I was using it as a secondary weapon, Overkill and the ScarH. That way I could run an SMG and have a very powerful long-range weapon without really having to sacrifice too much. It's no different than running a regular secondary weapon with an attachment. So that's something I would give a shot. Obviously, I wasn't going to use a gameplay with the ScarH as a secondary as the main gameplay, so you're not going to see an example of that here. But I want to let you know that this ScarH, out of every assault rifle, is the most viable without the sight. I mean, without any attachments whatsoever. The reason for this, I'm not entirely sure, but it's definitely something worth giving a shot. So that's essentially what the ScarH is good for. Perks that go well with it are not necessarily what I'm using here. This was still in the experimentation stage, but because it's a long-range weapon, you're going to want to use perks that help you out with that. And it's also got a fairly decent amount of ammo. No different than any other 30 round assault rifle, but it shoots slow and it's powerful, so you're not going to be using as many bullets. For this reason, in perk 1, I recommend Hardline. Simply because I always recommend Hardline, because it just makes everything in this game easier, and it's probably the best perk. For perk 2, I actually recommend Toughness, because if you're going to be shooting at long range, you don't want to be affected by flinch. And that's really all you need. Perk 3 isn't that useful for this particular gun, so you can go wherever you want with that, but for the most part, those first 2 perks are very, very important to do well. So that's about all there is for the ScarH. It's a powerful long-range weapon that really doesn't need too many attachments to be any better than it is. So if you like this video, as always, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next commentary. Thank you for watching, and, well, have a good day.